Welcome back to another episode of Love Sex LA Unfiltered. And today I have a very special guest. It's October and it's a good time to reminisce on the horrors of dating, right? I mean, sometimes in the middle of what we think we're living our true rom-com life, we end up, life throws a little plot twist at us, right? And it turns into a full-blown slasher film. And today I have a guest, and she has a very good book that was just published about the horrors of dating. Please welcome Rory Uphold.
That was cool. That's such a nice intro. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's all true.
Yes, the jump scares in our love lives.
No, literally. Like the jump scares.
Oh yeah. No, literally.
Yeah. No, like the monsters that we've invited into our beds, right? Like they're supposed to be in our closets or under our beds.
I know.
It's crazy.
I've said I've seen more skeletons in closets than I would like to admit.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm so excited you're here. I'm so excited about your book. It's
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank
So
you.
relatable.
I said off mic, I'll say it again. I'm shocked that you read it, not because I'm specific to you, but because so many people that have podcasts don't have the time or they just don't do it. But you actually read the book, which is fantastic. And I'm so honored.
Well, of course, it was really good. And here's the thing with your book. Once you start it, you can't put it down. Like you need to keep like reading more and more and seeing like, okay, wait, here's the Jack the Ripper. Then you're in like the zombies and the werewolves. It's crazy.
Well, I've made a lot of bad choices.
But look what you got out of it.
Yes.
A work of art.
Very true. Very true.
A horror movie can be a piece of art too, right?
I think that it's a spectacular vehicle to talk about things.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So every episode, I start with a game called Date or Ghost. And I'm going to give you a scenario. And based on that scenario, you have to tell me if you would date that person or ghost that person. Okay?
I don't ghost, but yes.
For the sake of the game.
For the sake of the plot,
yeah.
I will say ghost, but I need you guys to know I don't ghost.
Okay. He says he's emotionally available, but he also says all his exes are crazy.
Ooh, that's that ghost.
Red flag. Right?
Yeah, because here's the thing. Then you chose them. So they could all be crazy. Odds are. My question is, are they crazy? Oh, cool. What'd you do to make them crazy?
Literally. And why are you the common denominator?
And like it sounds like I wrote about all these horrors, right? All these monsters I dated.
Yeah.
I take full accountability. There's a whole chapter called Maybe I'm a Monster Too. I take accountability. I dated them. I was in those, like, so you, to have like no awareness that you were an equal participant in it, I just go like, I don't think you have the emotional depth that I'm looking for.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Would you ghost?
Yeah, I would ghost because when I've heard that before, sometimes when you first meet someone, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But as things progress, you quickly learn like there is a reason their exes are crazy.
Totally.
If they are, actually.
I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
So I was dating this man who told me that he had a great relationship with his ex.
Yeah.
He lied, right? Then I come to find out she is legitimately crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Like was diagnosed. It got so bad. Like what she did was horrific.
Oh my gosh.
But he was like, well, I'm aware of the fact that I don't know you. And so if I said she was crazy, it would look a certain way.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But then once I had gotten to know him, we had built some trust.
Yeah.
He laid out the full story. And he still didn't say she was crazy. I said she was crazy.
Oh,
and he was
gosh.
like, yeah. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? And he said, because what does it look like when a man shows up and says, my ex is crazy?
Right.
I said, you know what?
You're
point.
Right.
Fair point.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I know. Uh-huh.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, totally. I was like, don't lie again. He's like, yeah, no. It's not like yeah. He also didn't belabor it. He wasn't like, we're best friends. He was just like, yeah, it's cool. It's not a big deal. He kind of brushed it off. Yeah.
Totally. Wow. That's
Take
interesting.
notes,
yeah. Right? That's an interesting take. Okay. You dated years ago and he ghosted you, but then you run into him. Now it's years later and he apologizes and asks you out.
Oh, date. If he apologized, I mean, I trust myself in the judgment. Like I feel like, I guess it depends. It depends on the circumstances around the ghosting.
Right.
There's certain kinds of ghosting I don't think I would ever come back from, but yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of feel it out, and like if their actions align with their words as
Right.
things, you know,
Yeah.
then I think that's acceptable.
You laughed though.
Well, to be honest though, I'm the worst. Like there are so many questions that I give people, and like in the moment I'm like, oh my God, I would ghost them. I would not put up with that. But then like sometimes like I do in the real world and like reality, you know?
Oh, we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Exactly.
Because I'm immediately, I want to dive in and be like, yeah, why do you do that? Why do you settle for things you would never let your loved one settle for?
Right. Right?
I can't help myself.
It's true though. It's
Yeah.
true. Like in real life, it can be hard, especially when you're like blinded by like what you think is a connection or something.
Correct.
But
Or they're perfect on paper, or we had the best time, or this is what I've been looking for, or I'm just so starved for any sort of connection. It's like your best friend could be dating a guy that's like decent, great, but like he does one thing wrong and we're like,
right.
get rid of him. And then this guy could be ghosting you or doing whatever, and you make excuses and
Totally.
exceptions. Why do we settle for things we would never let our loved ones settle for?
Exactly. I know we could be quick to judge with people, but it could be hard, like in our own lives, which is, it's crazy. It's a nightmare. It is. It's a horror film. It really is. Okay. He listens, plans dates. He's, respects your boundaries and all that. But his ex cheated on him, and he tells you in response to her cheating, he cheated on her.
Whoa. Girl, they're getting harder as we go. Wait, what is happening here? How old are they?
30s.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does he say? I love that I have all of these. This is not. This is supposed to be fast, and I'm like, I have follow-up questions, but I would be like, do you realize the error of your ways? Like,
Right.
Like, was this something that you regret? Because I think that if you don't give people the opportunity to learn and grow, then what? Like, I think that that's like a huge problem with cancel culture and just our society in general. Obviously, there's certain things that you should just be flat out canceled for, like go to jail.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of redemption. I do like the idea of growth. I'm not a perfect person.
Yeah.
And so if that kind of fuck up made that person realize like, I needed to get into therapy, or I needed to address the fact that like I was hurt, so I did something to hurt them.
Yeah.
Like then I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But if it was like so then I showed her, ha ha ha, I'd be
Right.
like, ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, ghost.
Yeah. And if it was like, okay, like not that it's ever acceptable, but like this was the one time they did it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I know. It's like sometimes with these situations, like a context situation,
Uh-huh.
Well,
That's the thing. The word relation is in relationships because it's all about being in relation to a person, and that's constantly changing.
Yep. Yeah. So true. It's constantly changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Okay. You're not exclusive yet,
Okay.
but he says he's not seeing anyone else,
Mm-hmm.
but you run into him at dinner with another woman.
That he's dating, or he's just with another woman?
Well, he doesn't really say. He kind of leaves it like open. He doesn't say.
Oh, I wouldn't care. Here's the thing. If you can take my man, he's not my man.
Exactly. Exactly.
Also, like, when I'm dating somebody, I'm like, okay, like, go find somebody better.
Yeah.
It's like, if you think that you can top this, fine. Like, genuinely,
I love
fine.
that.
Like,
I
it's
love
all,
it.
it's all
It's true,
good.
though.
Yeah.
But that's smart because I'm going to tell you, I feel like a lot of people put all their eggs in one basket from the beginning. And that's the problem is I was talking about this with someone else the other day. Our generation really lives in this scarcity mindset, I feel like.
1,000%.
And it's so funny because I feel like this is the first time ever in like history where, we have so many options, right? We have like everything at our fingertips, so many people you can access straight from your phone. And it's like the most scared I feel like people are to lose people and move on.
Very astute point. Yes.
Yeah.
I am pretty savvy at like finding things out. So, and I don't mean like necessarily after. I just would, I'd walk up to the table. I'd be like, hi, we'd have a conversation. I would be able to feel out the energy if it was like romantic energy or not.
Yeah.
And then the next time I saw him, I would just be like, did you love this? Did you get the steak? Did you whatever? And I'd be like, so like, who was that?
Yeah.
Not even in just like, oh, who was that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know her?
Yeah.
Have you guys been friends for like whatever? And I would figure it out because then his energy, if it's a friend, he's like, oh, that's my friend Diana, like,
Yeah.
or I work with her or whatever. And then that's easy. And then I was like, okay, fine. And then if he gets weird, then I know, okay. So like, it's not aligning.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because the thing is like when you say we're not exclusive, but I'm not seeing anybody else, that is exclusive.
Right. Right.
That to me, we don't need to sign contracts about exclusivity. But if you tell me you're not seeing anybody else, that does mean we're exclusive, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, we're adults.
Exactly.
That's a game. I don't play games.
I hate the games.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
if you go, oh, we haven't made it official. I'm like, are we 5?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Totally.
We need a handshake? What do you mean make it official?
That's so funny. No, it's true though.
Yeah.
It's true. And I feel like you're like how I am. You're very transparent.
100%.
Yeah.
Lying takes up too much mental energy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do too many things.
Right?
I don't want to play games unless it's like Mafia or something that you know what I mean? Like those are fun.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's so true though. It's so true. And people do play games.
Totally.
Which is
But
so
also
weird.
like if walking up to it, if you see that guy out with somebody and then it makes you spiral or feel bad, like my thing would be, well, where's that coming from?
Yeah.
Why are you immediately jumping to the worst case scenario?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Okay, so wait, we're dating that person?
Am I dating someone?
No.
Oh.
I was going back to the question. I forget. Did we say date or ghost?
Oh, date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I was like,
I love it. Okay. You meet a guy. He's really great. You have so much fun together, but he changes when he drinks.
ooh, that's a hard one for me personally because I've dealt with that, and so I feel like when you have dealt with that, the tolerance for it gets a lot lower. So I think for me that's a no. That's a ghost for me.
Okay.
But I that wasn't always a ghost for me.
Yeah.
I've dated that.
Yeah.
And because I have dated that, it is now a ghost for me.
Yeah. No, I get that. Because I've been around guys that they change when they drink. Like they go from very normal to
Whatever.
Yeah. Like
The cast of Jackass or aggressive or just whatever it is.
Yeah. Totally. So that's one of those things, and then you probably have in the back of your mind that like you wouldn't date someone like that, like one of those non-negotiables.
It gives me the ick.
Yeah. Ugh, it is the ick.
It gives me the ick because I'm like, you can't hold it together? You can't keep it consistent? And that's my thing, I realize, but I think there's like nothing less attractive or less manly about a guy who can't drink.
Yeah.
And by can't drink, I mean know your limits with alcohol and know how to keep it in between the lines.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me, it's an immediate boner killer.
It really is. I went out with a guy like over a year ago. And it was like one date or 2 dates. But I went out with him and his friends it was like a little like art festival type of thing in Santa Monica. He was a DJ, which should have been like my red flag from
ghost.
the beginning.
I know that's not a question, but ghost.
Like it's an automatic ghost, right? Yeah. And we went to this little art music festival thing and he just starts drinking. And, it's like one drink. Mind you, this is in the middle of the day, right? It's like a little like middle of the day festival.
Worse.
And I'm like, okay, like he seemed normal. But as he's drinking, like he's just getting more aggressive and touchy and
loud,
like,
and
sloppy. And I'm like, it just was like, yeah. And I did ghost. That is one of those situations where I was like, ghost.
No, thank you. Yeah. Oh.
I stay away from the DJs now, though. It's never a good sign.
Which means you're not on Raya. I feel like Raya
I actually am on Raya. I am.
Raya is just all DJs.
It's so many DJs.
Yeah.
So many. It's so true. Okay, so to that point, to non-negotiables in dating. Okay, date or ghost. Would you date someone or ghost someone who you meet, you like them, they seem like there could be like a lot of, potential there, but they have a trait from one of your exes that you said you'd swear off forever?
Oh, do I even have that? I mean, I guess the drinking one, but
yeah.
Here's the thing: if I say I swear it off forever, then it's a ghost.
Yeah,
I don't make promises with myself that I don't keep anymore.
I love that.
Like I used to do that, but that level of self-betrayal hurts way more than any person could betray me.
Yeah.
So it's
like
if-
betraying yourself.
yeah. So if I say I'm gonna not tolerate something, then I'm not gonna tolerate that.
I love that. Stick to your guns, girls.
Well, I'm an adult now.
It's so true, though. No, and I get it. And it can be so hard. You really do have to, like, stand firm in your standards, I feel like, in
10
dating.
toes down. Yeah.
It's crazy. And I feel like, ironically, the higher you hold yourself and your standards, the lower you almost have your expectations of people, right? In a way, because my expectations of people have gone down, for sure. The more you date and the more you meet people, I'm like, they don't always live up to, like, the standard and potential you create in your head about them.
Oh, well, 1,000% they never will.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because your imagination is
It
your
runs
imagination.
wild.
It runs wild. It's going to
Yeah.
be it's filtering through every rom-com fantasy, anything you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And our imagination doesn't put obstacles in there. So, like, someone will always fail. But I feel like, weirdly, I'm the opposite, where I do think that my standards have gotten way higher.
Right. My standards have gotten higher, but I realize that, like, my expectations of those people has to, like, meet, you know what I mean? Like, meet those standards. And a lot of the time they don't.
Yeah.
Because it is. Sometimes my problem is, like, I don't know if you're like this. I feel like after reading your book, though, you've definitely been like this before.
Changed.
Like,
yeah. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I am not on my high horse. No, my horse is very little.
That's so funny. No, but, like, I feel like, when you, like, meet someone and it's almost like they're not as great as the fantasy you've made them up to be. The potential,
I would say that's almost exclusively 100% everybody in this book. Yeah,
right?
Totally. And same with me.
Yeah.
I didn't live up to the fantasy I created of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, though. It's
nuts.
so true. But yes. Okay. So I want to get into talking about your book.
Are we done with the Tater
Yeah,
Ghost?
we're done
Okay.
with Tater Ghost. We're done. Yeah. So, okay, your book, A Final Girl's Guide to the Horrors of Dating. Love it. So relatable. And, like, you came up with so many, like, very relatable and original terms in the book. I wrote them down. I'm like, these are so smart. Like naming them after, like, zombies and vampires and werewolves, which I love that we're doing this in October now, right?
Yeah.
Like, so great. And, Dick Sand, like, it's like you're going in quicksand. Like, I love that. Those are such – so I want to talk about what made you, or, like, what inspired you to write this book in a way where it's like a metaphor for dating. You're comparing, like, these horror films to dating.
I wrote the book because I want to help women.
Yeah.
Period, full stop. Like, I wrote the book because I thought, maybe my stories can help somebody else, like, avoid the same mistakes that I made. And then I used horror because everybody talks about dating like it's this horror show. And even when we were talking about love in a positive way, like, till death do us part, I fell in love. She took my breath away. It is a little bit horrific.
Right.
And then you have zombies, ghosts, bed, death, all of the things. If you've ever had your heart broken, you know that, well, first off, heartbreak can actually kill you. That's a real disease. People can die of heartbreak.
No, literally, like, have a heart attack from it.
Yes. But also the pain of heartbreak, I feel like, is so overwhelming. And as a society, we've really trivialized that, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because everybody is expected to find love and keep love. But then we're not taught how to do that in any way. And then if you lose it or you get your heart broken, you're just supposed to kind of bounce back.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, if dating is a horror show, then I am truly the final girl.
Yeah.
Because there's always that girl who lives in the end of a horror movie, who survives. And I have survived all of the horrors, but I also want my readers to feel that way too.
Yeah.
Because you can absolutely survive and thrive and be the girl who, like, lives to tell the tale. The thing about Final Girls is the movie starts and we know very shortly, like, into it, that there's a villain, a murderer, a monster in the house or wherever. Everybody's going to die.
Yeah.
And then there's that one girl who goes, no. She changes, she gives it her all. The movie becomes about her. Suddenly she's the lead. We're rooting for her.
Yeah.
And she rewrites her own destiny. She looks at, like, the options and she goes, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be the exception to the rule. And I want everybody to be the star of their own love story, the star of their own movie. You know what I mean? And we can do that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because if I can do it, anyone can.
No, totally. Totally. I love that, though. I love that because it is a lot of, like, which I think is a hard pill to swallow for people, like our choices, right? Like sometimes I think, like you said, we think have fallen in love, right? And like, oh, I can't be without this person. And like we were talking about earlier, like a scarcity mindset, like I'm never going to meet someone like this again, right? But these are all choices and decisions, and allowing certain people into your life when they are like a monster, you know what I mean? I mean, those are choices, and it can be hard. But you're right. People can be the final girl in the film, right?
100%. Yes. You just have to believe that love is out there for you.
100%.
And that you're going to find it.
Yes. And it's a love you deserve and that you want.
1000%.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, well, then it'll never happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like people a lot of the time, especially women, you know, we think, well, maybe I'm asking for too much. And I think like.
Ask for more, babe.
Exactly.
Ask for more.
Exactly. Yeah. You're never, if you feel like you're asking too much, you're just asking the wrong person, you know?
Yeah. There's Lily Womble is a dating coach, and she says you can never say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yes.
But you also can't say the right thing to the wrong person.
Exactly.
Like you cannot love somebody into loving 100%. You back. So, and I've tried that, of course. I think many of us have, you know, and it's like, especially like, as I think there was a part in my life where I thought I can just show somebody, or I can be the one that was different. Like in the vampire story, it was like, oh, I can show him that love is real and it exists. And yet then I just was overextended. And it was just like bleeding me out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And, you know, I think that a lot of the time, you know, we think like, like we can overcompensate, right? And like make that person love us by overloving them. And by the way, when I have seen people that are with the wrong person, like they somehow do like overcompensate or make it work. And they usually have to almost like just like lower their standards and the way they're treated. Their shine. Yes, exactly. They have to dull their shine, and they're miserable. And it's like the guy, like a lot of the time I've seen where girls are with someone that they really wanted and the guy's cheating on them. I'm like, what a nightmare. Like, why waste your time with that? You know?
No, I don't like that at all.
No, me either.
I want to shake those people.
I know. It's so true. But, you know, you have a lot of characters in your book.
I do, yeah.
You know, one that really stuck out to me was Jack the Ripper. Because I feel like, you know, in life you have like canon events that kind of catapult you into that, you know, next phase. And you made a really good statement in that section of your book where you say, like, after that phone call where he called and said, you know, I think we need to break up, you were like, you were not the same girl after that phone call that you were before the phone call. He killed that version of yourself.
100%.
And I think that's so relatable. And there's always that one person in your life that kind of changes you, right? And shapes you. And like, I feel like catapults you into like, even like this, like you wrote a book, right?
I can directly link it back to him. Yeah. So for people who are listening, I thought I was going to be married to this guy, Jack. That's not his real name, but that's what we're calling him. And like we had tickets to go to Africa 8 months from this moment. Like we had plans to get married. Yeah. And he just one day picked up the phone and like broke up with me and then sort of never spoke to me again. And it is a canon event for a number of reasons because it was like that version, that life, everything that I thought I knew was gone in an instant. Yeah. And I had a choice to make. Like, who was I going to be after that? But it was also the birth of what I describe as like my inner demons because in the absence of the truth, I had to figure out what had happened. And it was so disconcerting that this person that I loved and thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with could vanish. Yeah. And not to blow this for readers, but you know, maybe somebody's listening and they won't read the book. I then very accidentally find out that he is like living with another girlfriend. And it really made me feel like I was replaceable.
From his Tumblr, right?
Yeah. Which, by the way, ghost, red flag. Not to constantly bring it back, but like, ick. Full ick. Did not know you had that. I didn't know he had a Tumblr.
Isn't that crazy? You think you can know someone too? Yeah.
Crazy. And yeah. Whew, there are details that are wild. But that I like write about, but it's like nuts that I'm like with your second cousin and meeting your great grandmother and all of these people that like the next time I'm going to see them is like at our wedding. And then 2 weeks later you end things. And then a couple weeks after that, I find out you full on living, sharing a place with your girlfriend. But for me, it made me feel like, well, I was easy to leave and I was easily replaced. And it really created a lot of feelings of unworthiness.
Yeah.
And it was not until I get to the end of the book that I realized like I'm carrying stories that weren't true, and I'm carrying a lot of insecurities that I didn't need to take on.
Yeah.
And those insecurities and patterns are reoccurrent throughout the book and reoccurrent through various horrors. And as my confidence waxes and wanes, those inner demons get louder. They propel me into situations and people that I otherwise maybe wouldn't have chosen.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, that's very relatable.
Very relatable. And, okay, so I don't want to spoil the whole book, but it's so good. It's so good. And I do think, like we were talking about, this is a canon event. I mean, it does catapult you into the next thing. And like you were talking about the guy you went out with after Jack.
Totally. Oh, my God.
Right? I mean,
think, is his name in the book Thomas?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally drop real people's names.
For all legal purposes.
Yeah, for all legal purposes.
This is, yeah. No, so I mean, those moments really do catapult you, and you make a great point. It makes me sick because I've been there, and, you describe it in your book, you've been there, that so much of the time, instead of taking it for what it is, right? Like this man, like he couldn't step up to be the man you needed. It really, like I know the line's stupid. It's not you, it's me. It wasn't you. It was him, right?
And we don't need to, I want to leave, like I'm fine telling people basically anything.
Yeah.
But I want to keep that, there's like a secret at the end.
Yes.
We circle back to Jack in the end. And it is so wild how it was truly, truly not about me.
Exactly. And so many girls don't realize that.
No, because they don't necessarily. One of the things I've always said is my superpower is I always find out the truth. Like I always find out the truth. But think about it in the vampire story. Like I end up running into those women. In the ghost story, I end up with the hairdresser. Like I always find out the truth.
Exactly.
And so it is this weird superpower gift, which I feel like is part of why I wanted to write about it, because it has given me this insane perspective where I can like be like, I promise you, please trust me. Like, it is not you. Do not self-blame. Don't internalize a second of it. And it's so hard not to, because we've been groomed to feel like we're too much or not good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we're groomed also to be, society's tried to teach women, like, you kind of have to be everything. Like, be available, but not too available. Be smart, but dumb yourself down a little.
You don't want to be a prude.
Yeah.
But also, if you, are too slutty, then you run through. Like,
exactly.
It's like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think that's really hard. It's a hard pill to swallow for women. And, it's so easy to kind of, like, replay everything in your head, right? Like.
Well, so your brain does that.
Yeah.
When you go through a trauma. Now, let's just say physically you touch a hot stove. Your brain's going to replay that because it's trying to ingrain in you a warning system.
Yeah.
And the next time you get near a stove, you might be like, okay, wait, I should see if it's hot or not.
Yeah.
The problem is that when you do that with emotional injuries, it creates like a belief system and a trauma, and it's replaying these memories, because what it's trying to do is protect you from making the same mistake again.
Yes.
But that doesn't really work with emotional traumas. It's like way better for physical stuff. And so that is why, like, you break up and then you're constantly replaying. You're trying to look for details. You're trying to find meaning. You're trying to do all of these things.
Yes.
So it's natural that you land on a story. It's why ghosting, the studies show that ghosting is actually very psychologically damaging.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It really is. It can be, like, very traumatizing. And so, okay, to that point, what advice do you have for women who are going through a situation like that, where they are made out to feel like they were inadequate, too much, or they blame themselves for the relationship ending?
I mean, okay. I think it's complicated because every situation is different. And like what I would want to do is talk to them individually and work through their stories. But you have to start to pull back the layers. Like you have to go, is this a feeling or a fact? And most of the times it's a feeling. And most of the times the feeling is fear. Because if like you're saying, ugh, all the good ones are taken, or he's going to cheat on me just like somebody else, or whatever it is, it's like, no. The core underlying fear is that love doesn't exist for me, that I have missed out, right? But you have to constantly pull back those layers. So if you find yourself scrolling through his social media, following to try and see if he's like followed a new girl, or you're pulling up the timestamps on text messages to figure out the cadence of the pattern of texting to see if the cadence has like been disrupted, or you're telling your friends about it, like something has activated your nervous system. You have to figure out what that is.
Yes.
Like, why is it that you feel like something is off? And is that your past trauma, or is it your instincts? The thing is that instincts move swiftly and calmly. They don't normally register as fear.
Yeah.
An instinct, like you can think about it, an instinct has you go like, it has you look over your shoulder. It has you do the thing in silence. It's not like that frenetic feeling that we all feel. So normally it is your trauma. And then you have to go like, wait, well, why am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
What is the fear? What is the story I'm telling myself? Okay, where did that come from? And then you have to sit with that feeling.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And it's a process that I had to repeat like hundreds of times to just sort of move through and realize like, yeah, I was left by the man that I thought I was going to marry, and it created insecurities in me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier to look outward than it is to look inward and face the fact that I felt pathetic, or that I felt broken, or that I felt unlovable or unworthy and sad. And then you have to kind of sit there with that and go like, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
And then reparent yourself and go, but this can't be true.
Right. Right.
It just can't be true.
Exactly. Exactly. And I see women do it so often when relationships end, whether it's a situationship, like a long-term relationship.
Yeah. Women have been taught to be chosen, not taught how to choose.
Yes, exactly.
So the thing is that 50 years ago, women couldn't get a credit card without their husband's approval. You needed to be married. We needed to be married. Single women couldn't get birth control. You couldn't get an apartment. You couldn't buy a washing machine from Sears without somebody calling to be like, hey, I have, the credit card that has a man's name. Can she buy this washing machine? This was a reality. I know that sounds crazy, but this was the truth.
Yeah.
And so marriage was a lot more essential.
Right.
And so, yeah, it makes sense that a lot of those dating books and that old traditional dating advice is kind of geared to getting a man, tricking men, holding out so that they can develop feelings before you, quote unquote, give it up. That's no longer relevant.
Totally.
But the dating advice still stands. And that's my issue, like with a lot of traditional dating advice, and part of why I wrote this book, because I do think this new generation of women, we are the final girls. We're looking at the monster in the house, the patriarchy, the way that it was, and going, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to rewrite my destiny. I don't want to have to settle in order to settle down.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I love it.
But it's the truth, right?
It's so true.
A lot of your fears, my fears, insecurities, the people listening comes back to like trying to be chosen, trying to be picked, trying 100%. To be loved. Babes, you got the power.
You have all the power. Girls don't realize that they have all the power.
And when you realize that, it becomes a lot more fun and a lot easier and not as emotional.
100%, 100%. And that's the thing is like people do have to make like dating fun again and not so stressful. Take the pressure off. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know how old you are. I'm 31. Like in your 30s, I can see where people put like the pressure on themselves to like meet those deadlines, right? Like, oh, my friends are married.
But where's that coming from?
Exactly.
But like, if you're listening and you feel that, where's that coming from? Why do you feel that way?
Exactly.
Do you know what the definition of a spinster is?
But I don't know the exact definition.
So when I say spinster, that's a negative thing, right?
Right.
So a spinster was a woman over 30 who was independent and made her own money.
Really? That's the exact definition?
Yeah.
And see, I always thought it was like a
somebody
woman
that was
who
unloved.
couldn't get married.
Yes.
Old, dying alone.
No, I know. Because if you can't control the birth rate, you can't control the economy.
Yeah.
So there's like, it is, I sound like I'm like tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist.
No, I love it.
And the thing is like, I absolutely believe in love. I absolutely believe in marriage if you want it.
Yeah.
I love men. This is not a...
Totally.
I don't actually have any... That's the thing. Like, I truly am one of the biggest... Somebody was like, whoa, you're a romantic. I'm like, 100%.
Yeah.
But...
with the right person.
The facts also still remain.
Yes.
That women have been... We need women to settle. We need women to settle so that they settle down.
Yep.
All of these systems have been in place. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, we take on these insecurities, the shame, all of this, and then it feels icky and not great.
Yep. Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. And you know, I just feel like you did such a great job explaining all this in your book too. Like, I want everyone to read it because I'm like, oh my God, it's so relatable. And like,
Okay, thank you. You're hired.
I'll do PR. I'll do PR.
This is my new publicist, guys.
No, I really am. And I'm such a fan. And I was telling you before this, like, I don't even read like a ton of nonfiction. This reads so much like a story, like a narrative. Like, it's so relatable. It really is.
Thank you.
And, you know, just the way you help people visualize like these different characters that we were talking about, like, you know, and you compare them to, you know, different monsters, werewolves, zombies. By the way, the zombies that resurface during retrograde, like Mercury retrograde, like, come on.
And this year, the 2025 Merc-Rets were crazy.
Crazy.
I like put a seatbelt on, put a helmet on me.
No, put a helmet on.
Like,
it's a bumpy ride. Like,
diabolical.
Yeah.
Guys, we're dealing with too much. The planets need to get it together.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. It's so true. And, you know, yeah, so you were talking about werewolves, zombies, vampires, all these different monsters. What would you say, based on your experiences, who was the first monster that a woman usually meets in her life?
Oh my God, no one's asked me this before.
Really?
Yeah.
What? We got an exclusive here.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question because part of me wants to say you, like the monster inside of you.
Yes.
It's probably the first one you meet. Because it's been a minute since I was in elementary school, middle school, and I feel like people are dating younger and younger these days, so I don't know when they start to date, but like there's that feeling when you start to have crushes, which you feel like you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's the monster.
Totally.
Right? Like that's whether it's like you have acne or you don't feel like you have enough money or you're not the smart one or you are the smart one. I don't know. Like, cause again, you'll never be perfect. You'll never measure up. It's like an invisible yardstick where it's like it's constantly growing.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the monster inside of us.
Yes.
But then in terms of men, it's probably serial killers. Just because that's Jack the Ripper, and we're all gonna get our heart broken.
Yeah, and that first heartbreak,
and that first one,
first cut is the deepest, right?
It really does. It really does hit you.
It really hits you.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's something
because the amount of heartbreak you feel is always in proportion to how deep you love, and that first love, no bounds.
So true.
And you don't know the pain that's on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So I think that many of us go in and love the way that hopefully we will always, like, hopefully we are able to love when we meet the person that we spend the rest of our lives with, if that's the thing that you want.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that I want. And so hopefully you get back to that. But I think it's so hard because when you feel that actual pain, that like it physically, I remember I felt like I was actually dying.
Yeah. No, I remember in the book you describe it, like you grabbed your chest, like you physically felt it.
Oh, God. The actual worst. I mean, I can like tap into it and still know what that feels like, and I think, and then we really do trivialize it.
We really do.
Oh, you should just get over it.
Yeah.
I can't get over it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, like you describe in your book, I love the part where you're like, why would you do that? Like, we have a trip to Africa planned. Like, if you think about all the things you have planned that you're not going to get to.
It doesn't even make sense. Yes. It's like not rational. You're in this like this fight or flight kind of crazy brain. And then I'm replaying. Like every second of every day. Like, did I miss something?
Right.
How did I not see this? Am I no longer trustworthy? I thought I was a good judge of character.
Literally. That's
like,
spot on.
There's so many things that kind of run through your brain. And yeah. And look, we know there's studies that have been done at the University of Michigan where they have hooked people up to machines like MRIs and expose them to physical pain, and then taken people who have like recently had their heart broken and shown them or made them talk about their ex. Yeah. And the same parts of the brain that light up for physical pain light up for heartbreak.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's so interesting. Eventually, I feel like we're going to get to the point. What was the movie? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yeah,
where they're like erasing our memories.
Yeah.
Like, what breakup?
Here's the thing. I would never do that.
Me either.
Yeah.
Because it really does, those experiences, as you've talked about, like they really shape you.
Yeah.
And, I really truly believe everything happens for a reason in your life if you're able to find the meaning and take the lesson out of it,
1000%. Like, and that doesn't mean that it was your fault.
Exactly.
Like, because bad things happen to you. Mm-hmm. It's not about controlling or preventing bad things from happening to you. Bad things will happen.
Yes.
Like, period, full stop. That's just life.
It's life.
It's what you do, what you make of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think a lot of the time, that's why, some of the same experiences and lessons keep happening to us.
Until you learn it.
Until we figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Until we figure it out. Totally.
1,000%. And I think so there is some neuroscience in that. A couple of things. One, we seek out what we know because what is familiar? If you grow up in chaos feels like love.
Yeah.
So we go to the things that are comforting and familiar as opposed to what we might actually want.
Mm-hmm.
So I might not actually want chaos.
Right.
But again, if it feels familiar, I will be attracted to it and it will feel like home.
Yes.
So then I can continue to repeat that pattern. Similarly, our brains want to prove our core beliefs true.
Yeah.
So if you have a core belief that could be just a core fear that you are unlovable, your brain is quite literally going to filter out examples that would show you otherwise and is going to reaffirm that belief, confirmation bias. So it's so important for you to hold these very positive beliefs about yourself.
100%. 100%. And to your point, I feel like a lot of the time when, you're talking about how, we find comfort in familiarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so much of the time why people stay in relationships or situationships or whatever it is because it feels familiar or we want to feel that closeness. We don't want to have to go meet someone new. It's a lot of work,
Sunk cost fallacy. That's the sunk cost fallacy.
Yes.
That it's a business term and it's that when you have invested into a person or a relationship, you're a lot less likely to leave because you've already invested. And so you feel like if you could just stick it out, if you could just change them, if it could just get a little better, it'll be okay and it'll be worth it than cutting ties and starting all over and breaking up and being single or whatever. And by the way, the only reason I'm able to speak or know about these things is because I've done all of it. I have for sure lived the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
And I, of course, have had terrible core beliefs about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but you know what? I was telling someone this the other day that was on the podcast, in order to get out of the fire, you have to go through the fire, and so you've gone through it, you talk about it, and you've taken the lessons out of it to help other people, which is so cool, which I love. And, I feel like we're so aligned, actually. It's so funny. Today I was thinking about how people waste more time in relationships because they think, okay, I've already invested, right? But okay, in a business or a company, whatever, if you invest your money into a company and there's no return on the investment and you think, oh, well, let me just keep investing. You're just going to spend more money. You know what I mean? And it's a waste. Take the L and get out, right?
Yes. I fully agree. Yes. I think that and we make, we make these weird negotiations in our mind when it comes to our romantic lives.
Yes.
And also for whatever reason, if you saw your best friend, your daughter, your mother, your sister making those choices, you'd be like, wake up, get out.
Totally.
And then when it's you, we somehow settle.
100%. That's so spot on. So
I constantly try and put my loved ones in my own shoes. I say be your own best friend. And that's a mantra that I live by, because if I had been my own best friend in all of the ways, I just wouldn't have ended up in 90% of these relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so crazy. And it's crazy to think about too. I'm sure you think about this as you've written this book, if you knew the things that now that you knew, then that you know now.
No, I would have been lethal.
Right? Right? I mean, it's just crazy to think about, but we've all been there. So, okay, out of all these monsters, which one do you think people can meet more than once or come in contact more than once?
Oof. I mean, I think whichever one you're disposed to.
Yeah.
Because if you meet a vampire, which is a narcissist or somebody that's an energy vampire, they can break you down systematically. They love bomb you and then they systematically break you down and bleed you dry and you're a shell of a person. So you're also primed for the next person to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they've already kind of dysregulated your nervous system and truly repatterned you to be taken advantage of again.
Yeah.
So in that sense, like it could be kind of anyone. I mean, I also think ghosts is
Totally.
just like that's so
common.
Now it's so common. If you haven't been ghosted, like leave a comment. We need to know you famous person.
Unless they're the ghoster, maybe. And
that's true. And in which case, I would like a word. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Probably ghost. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably right though. Maybe a ghost because it's so common.
It's so common now.
And it's funny because I always think
Which
about
is not
like,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about a lot of the time too, like people that ghost, over the phone, whatever, like they just stop answering or talking. Like, if we didn't have phones, what would you do in real life? Like, you can't just like walk away from a conversation in the middle of it, right? Like in real life. So
I mean, I have.
Okay, fair enough. In rare circumstances.
But that's mostly because I like get awkward or something, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. I just like it's a me being like, I've said too much.
You're like, no, I've done that.
Bye.
That's so funny.
But I will say like, bye, gotta go, or something like that.
Right.
I'll walk away. It's
Right. Not just like turn around and
bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Although
so
I am the
crazy.
queen of Irish goodbyes.
Are
But
you?
That I feel like I don't need to say goodbye. I'm going to see you again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
See you
another
later.
30 minutes of my time at the party.
Exactly. Oh
No,
my.
I need to go.
That is so, what's your zodiac sign? I have to ask you.
Sagittarius.
Oh, that's why. That's why we get along. I'm an
Okay.
Aquarius.
Oh. Yes.
So we get it. We get it. I had another Sag in here yesterday, and I'm like, we're very keen on our freedom and our individuality.
Yes.
So that's why I
Word.
get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yes.
That's hilarious. Okay, so moving on to talking about like the inner demon, like the inner monster you have within yourself. How did you finally, silence that for yourself, and especially in like your dating life?
Oof, that's a loaded question. I mean, I go pretty deep into it in a chapter called Spells, but I feel like it got to a point where I felt like look, in the book, I am dating this guy. Oh, I don't remember what I wrote his name to be, but so I'll just avoid it.
Yeah.
I know what it is in real life.
Yeah.
This guy, I actually met him through The Bachelor, which is really crazy.
That's so
funny. His best friend was The Bachelor at the time. And he was like on the show.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen The Bachelor at that time. So it was like very crazy because like The Bachelor came out and I was just like, hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I love it.
So I start dating this man and he like knew from the get-go, like he met me and he was like, I want to date you, whatever. And I had just come out of Vampires, the vampire chapter.
Yeah.
So I was not well. And I think I had told him something. I'd like made a joke because I would deflect with humor about like, it's a red flag when guys won't follow you on social media or post you or whatever. And like that night he followed me and liked a bunch of stuff and then like posted me on his stories or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he asked, which was like obviously just like, he was just being kind of funny and also making a point.
Yeah.
And then he asked me out on a date and I ended up being like 30 minutes late because I left my house and it started raining. So then there was insane traffic. Like it would have been on time, but then the traffic was crazy.
Yeah.
When I got to the bar, he was waiting outside with an umbrella and he'd been waiting the entire time because he knew that I had left without an umbrella. And he walked me from my car to the bar with the umbrella. And my Uber driver was like, the fuck? Like, marry him.
Yeah.
The nicest guy, I could go on. That was just an example of his behavior. And I was constantly looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I was constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was constantly like, well, maybe he's still talking to somebody else. Like I didn't want to live like that anymore. And I was like, I can't.
Like walking on eggshells almost.
Walking on eggshells. I was like, I can't live like this.
Yeah.
And so it was that like realization that part of my brain was like, everything is fine and you're being crazy and this is like not cool behavior. And then the other part of my brain just like couldn't help myself because it was like on auto drive and it was dysregulated and scared and it had been too traumatized.
Yeah.
And that was the moment I went, okay, I have to fix this.
Yeah.
And then I started to slowly peel back the layers. So anytime, and it took a minute. It wasn't like something that happens overnight. It's not just because it clicked didn't mean that like I could fix it in my body and my behavior and all of that. But again, peeling back those layers, asking myself the questions, like I really lay it out because it is a bit of a process. But, asking yourself, like, what do you hope to achieve here?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot of like inner self-work.
It's a lot of inner self-work. And I will say this, if you have anxiety, I think the antidote to that is what if you're wrong? So if you're like, what if he's ghosting me? What if he's never going to text me back? What if I'm wrong? What if this works out exactly as I want?
Yeah.
What if this is the beginning of my love story? What if I get what I want. What if it's okay?
Yeah.
Instead of the what if in the bad way, because I always just say worrying is wishing for what you don't want.
Yes.
You do not need to also experience it twice. If you're going to get ghosted, you're going to get ghosted. You will figure it out. It'll be pretty obvious. It generally is.
Totally.
So you don't need to experience that twice.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And in the meantime, it feels a lot better to hold on to hope than it does to hold on to fear.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think to that point, you know, like you said, you kind of have to look at it at the positive side of it, right? Like the positive what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
And also with that, if it doesn't work out, you know it's not your person at the end of the day.
1000%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, God, I wish I could I just want to give every woman on planet Earth confidence and self-love.
Right?
I just really do, because everybody is special. And I know that sounds so Pollyanna, which isn't really my personality, but I genuinely believe everyone is special and everyone is worthy of love, and that there's a key for every lock.
100%.
And there is no, the scarcity mindset thing isn't real.
Yes.
It's just, but okay.
It's true though. You're
Yeah.
so right. You're so right. And yeah, it goes back to that scarcity mindset that we've kind of embedded in our heads, and the fake deadlines, oh, I gotta be
But
married
by the way, who does that benefit?
Exactly.
Because
Nobody.
it's not benefiting women.
No. I
not.
agree. And I feel like so much of the time people spend time, hyperfixated on a person that's not meant for them, and they miss the opportunity, or they can miss the opportunity to be with someone that's going to love them the way they deserve.
I mean, zombies.
Literally.
I think about, wow, I wonder and I don't think about this in a fucked up way, just in a curious way.
Yeah.
God, I wonder who I missed during those eras of my life.
It's true.
I wonder who I didn't even see, because I was so kind of
Tunnel
visioned on thinking that this was my person.
Yes.
Because rom-coms and the red string theory and all of these delusions brain rotted my little millennial brain and made me believe that what does every love story have in common? It falls apart at some point.
So true.
And then someone makes a grand gesture and they get back together and they live happily ever after.
Right.
So I was primed for disappointment. That felt like a part of a natural love story. Right. Yes. And so I think I did. I definitely missed out on people.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's fine. I'm fine.
Right.
But it is a curious thing when you're like, God, I wonder who I missed when I was busy obsessed with Chad.
Yeah. It's so true though. It's so true. So, okay, let me ask you. So we have this book, and are you already thinking about a sequel? Do we get a sequel to this? Can you tell us?
That's such a great question. I do have two versions. I do have two ideas for sequels. Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know when that'll be. As you know, writing a book, not easy. Not a quick process.
No.
I think it'll depend on a lot of factors, and just, is there demand? Do people want it? And but I do have some ideas. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Let me ask you this. Do you, since publishing this or even writing it, have you had any encounters with any new monsters that you haven't included in this?
No, my love life is pretty great.
I love that.
I'm pretty consistent.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I've left it on a very open-ended thing, but I would say we did it, kids. we did it, Joe.
That is
so
great.
I feel good about things. And then and also, the biggest thing that I feel right now is I trust myself. So no matter what happens, I know I'm going to be okay.
I love
and
that.
I know I'm going to find somebody amazing.
I love that. And that's how it should be.
Because when I actually did the things that I said I did in my book, my whole love life changed.
Yeah.
I started dating incredible men. I started dating the men I wanted to be dating.
Yes.
And it was kind of where are they coming from? I was meeting them in real life. I was meeting them on apps. It was everywhere, but it was what I wanted on paper was in practice. And I had also all of them over 6 foot. And not something that I don't care. I'm 5'4.5".
I love it.
Height is not a problem.
Me too. I'm exactly 5'4.5". I've never met someone else.
Amazing.
I love
See?
it.
Yes. But when I tell you these guys were all dimes, you know, I know that's normally used for women, but like they were all incredible.
Yeah.
And they didn't like, and none of the breakups were bad. Like it just, things started to change and I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
But also I started to believe that great men are everywhere and they're looking for me too.
Yeah. I love that. Isn't that crazy? Like the shift in your mindset, how it can change everything.
Yeah. Look, it wasn't overnight.
No,
You
of course
can't
not.
like, you actually can't Jedi yourself into that. You have to feel that. Like I feel that.
It's a practice.
It's a practice.
It's a practice that you have to consistently keep working at, which can be hard. I mean, modern dating
if
is
this
crazy.
was easy, I wouldn't have written this book. Like 100%.
so
I
true.
would just like, no, I mean, that's the thing. It is so hard and it is so personal and it feels so bad when it feels bad.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think the hardest part about modern dating is?
I think for a woman or a man?
For a woman.
I think for women, again, we've been groomed to be chosen and not how to choose. And I think that a lot of us are fighting against stigmas, shame, and norms that were set up for an entirely different generation. And so we are still taking on a lot of the insecurities and the pressure to, again, settle so that you can settle down without really stopping to think like, do I actually want kids?
Yeah.
Do I actually want to get married? Like, what do I really want? And like, is that because I was told that I want it? Or is that because I actually want it? Do I really want to sleep with a guy on the first date? Or do I want to wait a month? Or do I actually only want to wait like, 2 dates? Like whatever it is, like instead of what you've been taught or told or think is the right thing to do. Because I think like for women, there's so many, you have people screaming at you about like black cat energy and like let him come to you. And if he wanted to, he would. And then also, don't give it up. But also, no. If you want to have sex on the first night, you should. Like there's just so much advice.
Much noise.
And so much noise.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, it's not about like people figuring out what is their true authentic alignment.
Yeah.
And acting from that.
100%.
I think that to me, that was like the most damaging.
Yeah.
And then also no one taught me how to get over a breakup.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so hard.
No one taught me. And I know that's not like a thing. I mean, now there are people that do that, but so again, I feel like I took old baggage into new relationships.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. I think that's so relatable for so many people, men and women actually. And, at the end of the day, you're right. There's so many like crazy, they're not even crazy. They're just like very black and white dating theories out there. If he wanted to, he would, the box theory, the taxi cab theory. Like there's so many things to keep up with. There's so much noise that we lose sight of like, okay, what do I want?
But by the way, the box theory gives the man all the control.
Exactly. And it's like you said, we've been groomed to
why are we doing
be
that?
chosen. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
And that's such a good point. Like,
no, they're in my box. Yeah. I mean,
so
maybe
true,
literally,
though.
but also like that to me, it's like it's new packaging on an old idea that dates back to before women had bodily and financial autonomy.
Yes.
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. But I love your point you make that, when you go out with someone, when a woman goes out with someone, she should be thinking like, do I want to date him? Does he have the qualities that I want to make a partner?
How did I feel after this?
Yes.
Did I feel good?
Yeah.
Do I feel calm?
Yeah.
Like,
true.
Did he ask me questions?
Yes. Exactly.
Instead of performing and trying to be the best version of you.
Yeah.
Like I always joke that I put the worst version of myself and then just get better, which is like kind of a joke and also kind of true. It's more just like, I stopped showing up as like trying to be, because it's the thing is nobody's going to fall in love with you in 2 dates. And if they do, they're not falling in love with you. They're falling in love with this idea of you.
Correct.
Because think about your best friends or think about the people that you would give the keys to your house to or your apartment or whatever. Hopefully that's not to somebody you've only known for a week.
Yep. Exactly.
So why do we do that with our romantic partners?
It's so true. And I mean, like, it's so true because I feel like so much of the time we jump the gun or we put the cart before the horse and, we get so close or intimate with someone to only find out later on. You know what I mean? And that makes it even worse, like the heartbreak even more difficult because like then you're invested and, you know.
And also, again, I feel like there's also the self-betrayal.
Yes.
Because part of you knows better.
Yes.
And when you know better or when you make the choice anyway, you've given up a little bit on yourself. And so that's the thing. It's like, yes, this person did you dirty, but you did you dirty. And that's oftentimes what we're the most upset about.
I think so too. Yeah. I think it's a lot of like accepting that, you know, you almost have to take blame or accountability in those situations.
Oh, that's hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. Especially if you have been done, if you've been done dirty, it's very hard to also take accountability.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Because it's like, but we're willing participants. I mean, I always say like never shop hungry.
Yeah.
Because if you don't need self-love in order to be loved. I don't believe that. But I do think when you love yourself, your life, your friends, your work, your job, you feel good about everything. It's so much harder for someone's dusty son to get you to settle for less. Like you're not going to live off of breadcrumbs if you have a full meal waiting for you at home.
It's so true.
And that's
such a good point.
It's truly like why it's the call is coming from inside the house.
Oh my God. By the way, that movie still scares me. But I will say this, in like real life, like I am the worst at shopping hungry. And I don't mean metaphorically. I mean like have
literally.
You ever gone to the grocery store late at night and you're like just throwing everything in and then
yeah, I know. And then you're like, weird, this trail mix has peanuts that I'm allergic to in it.
No,
you know?
Exactly.
Like, why did I buy this stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah. I've dated that stuff. That was, you know, there was a phase in my life where I was like, oh God.
For sure.
I look back. It's like, also, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing because you're just like, yeah, this is the person who cheated on me.
Right.
And I've said it's like, it's so much, look, getting cheated on sucks or getting whatever betrayed sucks, but I'd rather it be Captain America than Shrek. I'd rather it be aspirational than the man I lowered my standards for.
1,000%. That's hilarious.
Because that's a self-betrayal. Like thinking, if I just maybe then he'll, you know, he'll be good. He won't cheat on me or whatever.
Oh and my God. And then those are great analogies. I feel like I just took like a really good college course on dating. That's like what it feels like. I love it. I love it. It's so great. I want to end this with a little lightning round. Okay. All right. So a little lightning round. What's a red flag that gives you the ick immediately?
Well, we already covered it. The
drinking.
The drinking. But if I was to say anytime somebody like babies me, wheezes me, or like pretends that we're closer than we are on like the first or second date, I'm like, whoop. What?
Yeah, that's kind of cringe.
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, kind of cringe.
Well, because I'm like, this is for somebody else.
Yeah.
That baby came from the last girl. I didn't earn that. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's so
forced
true.
intimacy.
Yeah. It's so cringy too. And try hard. I hate that. Okay. What monster are you most likely to accidentally date again?
Oh, God. Oh. What monster am I most likely accidentally to date again? Well, he wasn't a monster, but, well, God. No one. Someone in Dick Sand.
Okay.
Maybe someone in Dick Sand because it's kind of mild. They can kind of go through the cracks. It might take me a second.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that it wouldn't happen. Either that or like a cheater because you can't predict that.
Right. You can't predict that. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay. What is scarier, being single forever or settling?
Settling.
I think so too. That to me is like very scary.
Oh my God.
That's a horror movie in itself.
Yeah. Look, I've seen a couple of my girlfriends get divorced.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. That is
so
not
true.
for me. That life is not for me.
Yeah.
Especially if there are kids involved. Deuces. No. Yeah. I'll stay single for the rest of my life.
Ugh, and it's sad when there's like the kids involved. Yeah, and then you've built like this
You're
life.
tied to this person forever. No, thank you.
No way. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. What's your final girl anthem?
You have to believe that you'll make it to the end of the horror movie or you never will.
I love that.
You have to believe that love is out there for you or it never will be.
I love that. It really is. It's so, it's hard to remember that, but it's so important that people do.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Let's end it on that. I
Okay,
love it. Oh
great.
my gosh. That's the perfect ending to this. Thank you so much for being here today
This is really
and talking
fun.
about your book.
Thank you.
I'm I'm so excited for people to read this because not only is it like entertaining because like it's relatable, it's educational, and I just feel like so many people can connect and relate to this.
Thank you.
So, and it's very brave, by the way. I want to say like people probably don't say this enough, like to like being vulnerable and putting your life and stories out there to help others. Like that is it's harder than people realize. So
look, if it helps one person, then it was worth it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
For sure.
It's not everybody wants to talk about it, but I'll talk about it in the hopes that like, you know, God, truly, if this can spare one girly pop, some of the heartbreak, then it was worth it.
For sure. For sure. Oh my gosh. Well, this is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you
We're
for
going to have to
having me.
like do a little follow. Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I want updates on everything.
And you will have them.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, thank you for being here. And thank you guys so much for watching this week. And make sure you pick up Rory's book.
Yes, The Final Girl's Guide to the Horrors of Dating.
We're so excited. I'm so excited for people to read this. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next week. Yay!
Yay!
Perfect.
Thanks, Max. Thank you.
So amazing.
Thank
This
you.
was
This is so
so
fun.
fun.